Why is the earth going to flip upside down? How soon and what will be the consequences when it does? What will happen to the elite who have been scurrying underground into the bunkers? Why will the meek inherit the earth? Is the Quran right or wrong? It's wrong. Muhammad was right. He said that when you see the sun rise in the west, then the end will come. Muhammad, of course, has been misquoted ever since. The various battles over the control of the writings of Muhammad have been altered and changed and so forth. So when I investigated what Muhammad said, he was truthful and correct, saying that I was born of a virgin and the soul of Allah, which is God. Now he said that the end will come when the sun rises in the west. At present, the earth is tilted around 40 degrees, something like that. So the earth still keep on rotating in the same direction, but if you flip it upside down, the sun will appear to be rising in the west. That's what's going to happen. See here that the sun, in relationship to the earth is now upside down. So the earth rotates eastward, as it did before, from the perspective of our view of the rotation of the earth. So we are all upside down. And the sun will appear to rise in the west. On the August 23rd, 2013, Essene came close to Jupiter's moon, Io. Now, you have to consider that there are 63 moons rotating around Jupiter. Jupiter is 88,800 miles across. That's the Jesus number in Greek gematria. And it just happened to be the right moment when the comet came close to Io and caused a massive volcano to occur, disturbing the molten mantle within it, drawing it, if you like, to the surface. See here, just where it says moon and the low end under the first O, straight down is where the actual earthquake caused the molten mantle, and then the mantle burst through the earthquake and formed a volcano. There's another look at it there. It was 30 square kilometres of its surface. Then on October the 1st, 2013, as comet Essene passed Mars, it caused a massive earthquake and left Mars glowing with a coma tail, turning it into a comet. It is easily seen from the Earth as a glowing star. So on the left is what it looked like, and on the right is now what it looks like. So on October the 1st, 2013, just moments after the massive comet Essene passed Mars, the USA announced it was closing down NASA funding, cut off various satellites and telescopes which were already paid for and operating. Were out of business, deliberately, of course, shutting off public information and what is going on in space. Just a coincidence, some say. Of course, it's intentional. These are some of the photographs of Mars from a small telescope. Who would have thought at any history, this would be the case. Mars just happened to be in the correct position for a close account of the comet. Now it's on its way out to the Earth. As you know, we've mentioned before that it passed the Sun, and the Sun was being tracked by a computer, and it spat out the distance to the Sun, which was 8,888,008 kilometres. Jesus' number. So I took off the internet and was saying this is proof NASA's Curiosity rover has been destroyed. So the comet was headed towards the Sun. It passed Jupiter on the way in. There are 63 moons of Jupiter. It is, as I said, 88,800 miles across. The Jesus number, Greek gematria, is 888, useless. The obvious is staring at you. The numbers are all to do with the Creator, who, according to Muhammad, was born of the Virgin Mary, because Jesus was the soul of Allah, and Allah is just the word of God. The Western Christian religions try to make that as being something else, but it's not. It's just simply another word. And confirmed what I said when I walked the earth as Jesus. If you have seen the Father, you have seen me. The Father and I are one. The reason Islam spread so quickly across the Middle East is because Muhammad wrote to and then sent his relatives to the kings of nations around Arabia, where they heard what he said. The king of Ethiopia fell, he wrote a letter back, and he fell to the floor, worshipping Jesus as God in the flesh. Then letters from the kings said they were convinced and became Muslim. Muhammad did that. The Church of Rome by then were murderers and consumed by the Jews. In fact, it was a small Jewish community that poisoned Muhammad, and he died. His first wife was Khadijah. When she died, Muhammad remarried. He married Maria, a Coptic Christian. She gave birth to a son, and he died when he was just 1 year and 10 months old. The line of Muhammad was via the daughter Fatima, who married Ali, Muhammad's cousin. Muhammad had been raised by his uncle after his father died when he was just a boy of 8 years of age. Ali was his cousin and became his son-in-law. So he was the younger son of his uncle. So the actual lineage of Muhammad via his daughter and Ali was the legitimate line that Muhammad had decreed, yet soon after the evil crept in and this was cut off. The Quran, therefore, is said to be the word of God by Muhammad, but like the Bible, the scholars and clerics bring their interpretation to the plot, writing on Muhammad's name. But we have uploaded the account of Caiaphas, who was the high priest who had agonized over the command to crucify myself, Jesus. He was scouring the prophet's scrolls. He was desperate. Letters to the Sanhedrin said that he had ordered the death of the Messiah because he was forced into it. I, as Jesus, was forgiven sins, and that's blasphemy. So I was either God in the flesh or I wasn't, and they couldn't come to terms with it, and most of the Sanhedrin was against the whole idea. And of course, this is what I did. I forced them into crucifying him because it had to be done. So Caiaphas said that if he had crucified the actual Messiah, that there is no salvation for the Jews. Now at the time, the Jews were not of the tribe of Judah, they were Idumean. They had taken over the temple after Nebuchadnezzar had defeated the line of kings finally Zedekiah, who he had placed on the throne 11 years before, as he had his father and brother. And he rebelled against Babylon. So Nebuchadnezzar had enough and he came and lay siege to the city, built a wall around it, and eventually starved out the inhabitants and captured Zedekiah. He killed his 4 sons before his eyes. He was a young, arrogant man, about 32 years old. And then he was blinded and taken to Babylon, where he died in a prison. Now, so far as Caiaphas, he wrote that I, as a ghost, appeared to him in his quarters. He was with his wife and father-in-law. He wrote he was so terrified that he felt he wanted to sink through the floor. Now, this account was discovered in Rome and is still held to this day in the Vatican Library. It was revealed by an American who was able to find priests to translate it around 1850. He was American. Prior to that, the letter was including documents sent to Constantinople. Then, after the Muslim Empire took over the city, Muhammad read the same letters and understandably was convinced that what had occurred was true, was written and made. So the Quran is a combination of rubbish and truth. As we all know, the first casualty of religion is truth, because man wants to control the masses. Muhammad wrote that the end of the world would come when the sun would rise in the west. Now, Ash and I are in Hugara, Egypt, on the Red Sea. We have observed the sunrise, as I said before, occurring slightly east of south and set slightly south of west. From sunrise to sunset, less than 90 degrees. We saw the same thing in England. I got a drawing of it somewhere. So we had flown to Rome because of the incarceration of our friend, Pope Benedict XVI. And then we couldn't get in to see him, so we ended up flying to Edinburgh, where we purchased an old car. It immediately broke down, of course, and we had to repair it, and it cost a lot of money. Then we drove to Glastonbury, then on to Folkestone near Dover. I'd like to say that all throughout our trip we've been ripped off continuously, and in Egypt we've been ripped off as I speak. What happened here, we was asked by a gentleman who said he wanted to set up health clinics and so forth, and he's got a very wealthy uncle, which I told had hepatitis C. Hepatitis C, when you're in 12 or 13 years of it, it's very difficult to get rid of because there's so much damage to the liver and kidney. And we did what we could for him, but because he's an evil bastard, he said that if he is cured first, that he would then build a hospital for everybody else. And my idea is, you build a hospital and I'll cure you. So I decided not to cure him. It caused this other young fellow, Mahmoud, to turn on us. And of course, his lips are moving, and what is very, very disconcerting with people of the Quran, they say one thing and do another. And they don't have that Jesus spirit like Christians do. So lying will come very, very naturally to them, and they take advantage, and especially if they think you're a Christian. Now, he had been told I was Jesus, so he played on that. But as it turned out, he ripped us off. When we was in Herne Bay, which is in England, we saw that the axis of the Earth was around about 30 kilometres north, maybe a little more, from Herne Bay. There's the axis point there. Herne Bay is slightly below that. Now we see then how comet Ison had swept past the moon of Jupiter precisely when the moon Io was in a position to be affected by Ison. It being volcanically active, when the comet passed, Io is also the third largest moon, and if you go do the numbers on it, you can look them up in concordances, which I haven't bothered, but it spells out the story. There are 63 moons, so we have Jupiter, Jesus' number, at 88,800 miles wide, and we have the third moon, the size, the third day, by synchronicity, and 63 is Isaiah 63, where the Lord is returning to Egypt from west, which is, of course, Sodom and Gomorrah. So Essene continued towards the sun, passing Mars. Likewise, was precisely in line with the orbit of Essene. And I want you to consider that for this to occur, when all these positions of these objects in space are exactly lined up so that Essene will pass it, and Essene, of course, came within 8,888,888.888 to infinity as was going in. The computers calculated to be reaching a little closer than that at 8,888,008 kilometres. And then as it's coming away, half a second later, it was out to 8,888,888.8888 infinity. And 8 is the word or the letter number that is infinity. And Mars is 4216 miles wide, and as I said, in the days of Noah, people were eating and drinking, giving in marriage, etc. Then were carried away of the flood. So in the Greek section of the concordance, James Strong's, those of you who have followed us will know that the number 4216 is the word carried away of the flood. So we've got Matthew 24:38. You can do that number too, I haven't bothered. Whereas in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And 4216 is the number. Overwhelmed by a stream, carried away of the flood. So Essene continued towards the sun unabated, and most amazing of all is the position of the comet, as I said. And the reality is the speed it was travelling at and the distance from its head to the sun must have been a computer calculation, because you couldn't do it by observation. And we'll give you those numbers there now. It is not reasonable that a man who is the most royal man alive has served the Queen to get her carcass off the throne with the letter on June the 14th, 2010, done legally, so that she has no excuse, and she is acquiescent, meaning she did not reply, therefore she had to reply in order to keep the throne, but she didn't. So it was a clever move on her behalf, because by not responding she has abdicated in my favour. However, she can't make it public because she's surrounded by all these Freemason Jews and homosexuality and child abuse and child sacrifice. So the Pope recognised me by seeing my face, and which is included was the Shroud of Turin, which he owns, by the way. The Pope owns since 1982. And on March 12th, 2013, state that my name is written in creation and is so mathematically perfect it defies calculation by an unbiased great computer, for example, supercomputer. So that the events concerning time is one thing, but moreover the brilliant game with celestial objects has thus far been demonstrated as a coincidental impossibility, yet it is so. That's the whole point. I'm trying to stress here that these celestial bodies are just in the exact right position. So we have the comet coming towards the Earth, and it's going to be here very shortly. And unless we have a bit of respect and start talking seriously with the Vatican, there's going to be a big problem. November the 28th is when it happens. There's your distances. Now our room number when we was observing this was 522. Now, the following numbers I will not do, as those who know how to read James Strong's concordance can look them up. They confirm the coincidences. However, when we started uploading from our hotel room, as said it was 522, and that number is cubical another measurement. Now, some years ago, I warned Obama that if he and his elite go underground, he and those with him will suffer a horrible death. Some of those facilities are very deep, self-contained, and that means these monsters stay underground while the world is destroyed by the vast number of meteors and asteroids raining down all over the world, which is a valid point from their perspective. However, the power of Essene is so great that it's already demonstrated that what it has done to moon of Mars, Io, and brother Jupiter, and what it's done to Mars is beyond comprehension. So what they have not calculated into the equation is that they are attempting to change prophecy by going underground. But the myth will inherit the earth because, excuse me, where are the meat? Well, they are not hiding like rats underground. So let's look at the effect of the comet will have on the earth. Excuse me. We have seen the oddest situation of the perfection of the Essene comet, so precise it defies imagination, etc. Erupting giant volcanoes. Mars, same problem. The Earth has turned on its side, around 50 degrees at the moment, I'd say, from the upright position of 90 degrees. Now, as said, we are in Egypt, on the Red Sea. The sun rises to the south, and 90 degrees later sets slightly south of west. And now we'll look at England. We took also coordinates of Stonehenge, and scientists gathered there every morning at 5 a.m. But they are all dismayed by the sun rising in the wrong location. They can't figure it out. Okay. Now the solar system travelling at 69,000 kilometres per hour across the equator on December 11th, which coming up to December 11th, but in 2013 is 2 years after. December 11th, 2011. We uploaded all this, and of course we have a movie of them living upside down. And over the last 2 years, it's slowly starting to catch on. People are realising something going on. Okay, so what effect will the comet have upon the molten mantle? As I said, the engineers who designed these thousands of kilometres under the ground didn't take into consideration that the planet will be affected greatly by this comet. And of course the molten material will burst through and seep along the tunnel. So in fact it's releasing the pressure from the surface by allowing thousands of kilometres of tunnels to fill with the molten mantle. So the mantle is going to be pushing upwards, and we've got some photographs shortly I'll show you. So the elite hiding underground in the bunkers and tunnels will be burned alive by subterranean steam, followed by molten magma. So when they designed all these things, money was no object. They were connecting to small cities. And some of them actually go under the sea to a certain extent, which allows submarines in and that kind of thing. So what have they overlooked? Now these are going to fill with molten material from the mantle. So you imagine those lines that you see to the right, bottom right there, they're tunnels. What's going to happen? Instead of going up, pushing a mountain upwards, it's going to go along the tunnel. This is some of the size of the machines. They're gigantic. And they're owned by the show you the Navy. This is the kind of energy that comes out of the normal activity on the Earth, let alone being drawn up by the gravitational field of the comet coming past, which is about as big as the Earth, ahead of it. So there we have a tunnel filling machine that's both being brought out of a tunnel. So over there's the Air Force, the Navy's got them as well. It's a marvellous piece of engineering. Really, what is it? It's just a thing that pushes forward on a rail and crunches the rock in front of it. It's no big deal. But then they come along and they seal it with this equipment that you can't see at the moment. To the left, they have these precast cylinders that they fit together, and then a bonded into position with typically rubber or cement, depending on the material where to go. What you're dealing with. This is normal stuff. That's what's down there. Thousands of kilometres. These things drill at about the speed of a man walking. So, say, well, how long would it take to walk across America? That's how fast they drill. There's all these huge trucks that run throughout these tunnels, running on propane or something like that. Now, can you imagine if all these were lines across the top of this red-orange mantle here, that they were tunnels? What would happen? Now, this is some cars here. You see these are about a 1950 model car. And so this is how long they've been doing it. You see how the tunnel is round. Well, they drill straight in. It's quite an engineering feat to be able to accomplish that, but they have been doing it so long. Now, all these dots here is where the entrances of these tunnels are. And that's possibly only scratching the surface, so to speak. This is what can happen when the mantle breaks through in the city. There it is, Broadway, and it just pours out and then flows straight up. The pressure is so great. Now, there's people standing off at the left there that's been watching this, and suddenly it's gone to the height of that multi-storey building, car park. These are some of the long tunnels that are connected to get across the United States. So they have little arteries that come off those to those other pictures I showed you before. This is the power that you're dealing with under normal circumstances without comet coming past. And it's hotter than hell. So as I said, the forces are so great, and magma pushes up mountains, even up through the sea. And of course the material will go along the path of least resistance. So the underground tunnels will fill with steam, followed by magma, and in reality lessen the amount of magma reaching the Earth's surface. So in their stupidity, they've actually made a safety valve. For example, Yellowstone is a gigantic volcano, and all this drilling around it will ease the pressure. Now, scripture, for a fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn into lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. And there's a close-up of the distance that is official, coming out of, it must have been NASA. And Pope who just communicated to me that he wants to make peace because of that. So he repents, not a problem. Now, BP Earthwatch is an astronomer, amateur astronomer, that he was able to capture the 4 frames of Nibiru, one of the larger planets. And NASA was, everyone was concentrating, watching the right of the screen, and for 4 frames you can see this gigantic planet was in frame and photographed, and then they washed it, as they call it. They take it out of the transmission. But because it was a live feed, they were a little slow on the uptake and missed it for only 4 frames. So the film was at 32 frames per second. This is only a very small amount of time, but they missed it. That's what it looks like. See, it's affected by the light. So that's the end of this small explanation of what's going to happen.